Welcome to the Talk Like a Leader podcast, where we explore the mindset, skill set, and habit set of leadership communication. Using these tips, techniques, and tactics, you'll be able to talk like a leader to build better relationships and get more done. Your host is Guy Harris, who has more than 20 years of combined professional and military experience in consulting, coaching, and training in areas like team and interaction dynamics, communication strategies and tactics, as well as emotional intelligence. Take it away, Guy.
Today, I'd like to share with you an idea that I learned a long time ago that has helped me become a better communicator. And I think if you'll take the lesson of this, it will help you become a better communicator also. It's a single idea related to the power of stories. And it's wrapped up in this statement: data tells and stories sell. Let me share an experience with you that I had early in my career. It goes back to time when I worked in the plastics industry, and I was a process and product development engineer. I had a chemical engineering degree, and I just finished serving as a nuclear engineering officer in the U.S. Navy. At the time, I felt like I had a pretty good technical background, and the truth is I knew almost nothing about polymers. Well, this lack of knowledge about my specific job requirement of working in the polymers industry was creating a bit of a challenge for me. And I really struggled to understand why we did some of the things we did to modify our products and processes. One of my early mentors was trying to help me understand some of the concepts we were working with, some of the chemistry, some of the physics involved. And he shared technical data with me that described all sorts of chemical and physical concepts of polymers. It was nice, and it helped a little bit. And despite having technical information, I still struggled a little bit to connect all of the technical information to the practical real-world applications we faced. Now, one day, I went to him in my frustration, and I told him that I didn't really know how to tie everything together. And he said this. He said that I could think of polymers like a bowl of spaghetti with sauce on it. The different noodle lengths are like different molecule sizes, and the sauce is like one of the additives we put in the process to make the polymer easier to process. With that physical representation in mind, I immediately had a clear way of thinking about and remembering some basic polymer chemistry principles. And I started calling that the spaghetti bowl model of polymer interaction. And here's what happened in that moment. When my mentor gave me that picture of a bowl of spaghetti covered by sauce or olive oil, he gave me the picture of something in the physical world that I could see so that I could relate to things in the physical world I couldn't see. He gave me something big that I could picture and I could hold on to that would help me conceptualize the things that were going on in the small molecular world of polymer chemistry. What he did was he converted facts, molecular weight, frictional coefficient, molecular tanglement, terms that we threw around in the polymer industry, into a story with a picture, spaghetti and sauce in a bowl. He successfully applied the concept I gave you at the beginning of this podcast. Data tells and stories sell. Now, when I was a new leader, I quickly learned the practicality of this concept as I learned how to persuade others to take action that they didn't necessarily want to take. In many of my first attempts at persuasion, I relied primarily on logic and reason. I really thought that I could persuade people to take action if I could help them to understand the logical basis for my request. And what I learned is that as I applied logic, I sometimes slipped into coercion rather than persuasion. Now, you can probably predict the outcome of most of those efforts: abject failure. I frequently got into arguments, and I got pushback from people, and I got, frankly, little or no real cooperation. Now, eventually, the lesson of the spaghetti bowl analogy for polymer chemistry became really clear to me. It became clear to me that converting data and logic into stories and analogies, examples, illustrations, would dramatically improve the persuasive power of anything I was trying to say. So when you make presentations, when you attempt to influence people to change their behaviors or change their mind or to take an action, whether you're doing this persuasion or influence effort in a one-to-one or a one-to-many environment, remember this concept: data tells and stories sell. If you want to become more persuasive, more influential, Find ways to convert your ideas and concept into stories and analogies and illustrations that people can easily relate to and remember. Try to find ways that convert the picture in your mind into a picture or experience in their mind that relates to them the way they see the world. Do this one thing, and you'll improve the odds that people buy your ideas and take action on them. Remember, data tells and stories sell. This has been the Talk Like a Leader podcast. You can listen to this show every week wherever you get your podcast. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Guy Harris, and thanks for listening.